Welcome to the Warframe Weapon Encyclopedia, where today we're checking out the Dark Dagger. The blueprint for the Dark Dagger is one of the miscellaneous offerings that you can get from Nightwave, so it's not always available. In fact, it's not gonna be available more often than not, because on top of Nightwave having to be active, it also has to be rotated into the things that you can buy. The Dark Dagger is a Mastery Rank 2 dagger that does primarily radiation damage, with the second highest damage type being puncture, and then there's a decent amount of slash as well. It also has almost no crit to speak of, with a below average crit multiplier, but it does have good status chance, and it's not too slow for a dagger, because in Warframe daggers tend to be very slow. Now, since this is a dagger, it has access to the dagger exclusive Covert Lethality, which gives you some extra initial combo as well as 100% extra finisher damage, and it also has its own weapon specific syndicate augment called Gleaming Blight. This comes from the Red Veil Syndicate, and on top of giving you a ton of extra status for very little capacity, also has the Blight effect, which once you gather enough affinity will explode, dealing 1000 Viro damage, and it procs guaranteed Viro on all enemies within 25 meters, and it recovers 25% of your base Warframe energy, as well as increasing your movement speed by 10% for 30 seconds. Now, since you can get this very early on at Mastery Rank 2, let's cover a basic build first, where unfortunately you can't do an awful lot, and also your stance isn't gonna match, because for whatever reason, the stance polarity on the Dark Dagger doesn't match any of the stances. So what you're gonna do here is add a bit of damage with Pressure Point, then some elemental damage, which I would recommend to be corrosive and heat. You're gonna bump up the status with melee prowess, and then get some attack speed with fury. Now, while this is okay in the early game missions when you're just making your way through the star chart, don't expect too much from it. It has just about enough damage to go through the star chart, and it's gonna struggle on some of the beefier bosses. If you actually want to get some decent performance out of the Dark Dagger though, you're gonna want to run something like this, where we invest heavily into status with Condition Overload, the Gleaming Blight augment, 3 dual stat mods which are gonna combine into Viro and heat. But the only way this really works is if you are running the Stinging Thorn stance, because the standard button mash combo, the standing one, not the forward one, has some forced slash procs on it, so if you don't have the Stinging Thorn, you're gonna be better off with corrosive and heat. And this actually performs pretty well, going as high as level 100, though at that point the enemies are gonna take a few swings because you need to proc some slash on them, which will then do the damage for you. This is not a great weapon, I'm gonna say that right off the bat. It's not terrible, but the base damage is somewhat low and the range is fairly limited as well. It is a dagger at the end of the day. The only thing the Dark Dagger really has going for it is the Gleaming Blight augment and the utility that comes with it. So pick it up if you really like daggers, but other than that, can't recommend. And that's pretty much it, so I thank you very much for watching as always guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.